Now, the Prime Minister says Australia can't have lockdowns forever and we need to begin living with the virus once 70% vaccination coverage is reached. It sparked a big debate this morning. Infectious diseases expert Professor Robert Booy joins us now. Robert, the Prime Minister says to think we can't get back to zero in cases is just a misnomer. Do you agree with that?
Yes, this is a highly transmissible virus. It's twice as transmissible when it started out 18 months ago, and getting numbers down is definitely the plan, but getting them to zero is next to impossible.
Yeah, so should we not aim for zero? Because some states want to aim for zero. Some epidemiologists and infectious disease experts say we still shouldn't be opening until we get zero cases or thereabouts.
We definitely should be aiming for suppression to get the numbers as far down as possible, to not have anyone infectious in the community. And we definitely should be aiming for as maximal vaccine uptake as quickly as possible. We can get to 70% by the beginning of October and 80% by the end.
Right. So that would allow us to open up, but how many cases would we have and have to get used to if we get to 80%?
Yeah, well, cases are becoming not quite as important as how many are hospitalised or dying. In the UK right now, they're not counting cases, they're counting whether you get to hospital or dying. Singapore has opened up in the last few weeks. They're counting cases that get to hospital or die, because that's really the crucial thing. We don't have many deaths. We certainly don't have deaths in children, and the concern there is with spreading through children is understandable, but we also need to keep perspective that the disease in kids is mild, and if we can get the numbers down as we're trying to do at the moment, we'll get on top of it within the next month or two.
So if we get to 70 or 80%, but we haven't vaccinated children, should we open up?
Yes, children are not essential to the Doherty model. The ink isn't even dry on the model that was announced just 2 weeks ago, and it clearly said that 12 to 15-year-olds were not crucial to herd immunity. So we do want to vaccinate 12 to 15-year-olds if they've got a medical problem, cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, immune problems, heart, lung. But we don't need to vaccinate all 12 to 15-year-olds for the models to work. And remember too that they're only models.
Yeah. But see, a lot of parents would be thinking, I don't want my kid treated as a model. Even if there's a slightest risk to them, we've got to avoid it.
Oh, that's a good question, Koshi. And I've been a paediatrician, a children's doctor for over 30 years. I've done research on vaccination for over 30 years. If I thought children needed to be vaccinated, I'd be jumping on the roof and waving my arms. What we have to put into perspective is that the people who die from this are those with chronic medical conditions and people who are elderly. And children get a cold, or they may get a sniffle, and they may well pass it on, and you need to get a ring of steel around the kids so that the older at-risk people are vaccinated. Then later, when we've got time, we can vaccinate children when we've got supply.
I'm glad you made that point, because that's your wheelhouse. This is your expertise, dealing with children, so really appreciate your comments on it.